We all think we know what love is. We use the word every single day. But what if our whole understanding of it is kind of wrong? Today, we're going to dive into the work of Dr. Michael Lukens, who makes this incredible argument that true love is an innate human potential, a potential that our modern world seems almost perfectly designed to crush. So, this really is the question at the heart of everything, isn't it? Are we born good, born unselfish? And if the answer is yes, then what on earth happens to us? What is it about life that just seems to beat that generosity right out of us? It's a huge question, and it's the key to this whole discussion.
Okay, so let's get into it. The fading spark. The core idea here is that we don't start out as blank slates. Dr. Lukens argues that we arrive in this world with this built-in, unselfish drive to contribute, to serve, and to genuinely enjoy giving to other people. But, and this is a huge but, that little spark, that potential for true love, is incredibly fragile.
So if that spark is so delicate, how does it ever survive? Well, it needs something Dr. Lukens calls a developmental incubation. Just think of it like a tiny greenhouse for the soul. It's a protective, nurturing environment. Ideally, a healthy family, where our best nature can actually get strong enough to survive in the real world. Right, so we're born with this amazing capacity to love. But let's be honest, that's not always how things play out. So what goes wrong? Well, it's rarely one big, dramatic event. It's more like a slow erosion, a gradual process of being starved out of your own goodness by a toxic environment. And Dr. Lukens points to two key ways this happens. First up, the failure of validation. This is so important. It's not just that a selfish person doesn't give back. It's that they literally can't even see or acknowledge your gift as something valuable or special. Then you've got the never enough situation. Oh man, we've all seen this. You give an inch, they demand a mile. You give them half a mile, and they criticize you for it. It is a systematic way to just extinguish someone's desire to care. And this quote from Dr. Lukens just, wow, it hits so hard. He says you get starved out of your unselfishness. And listen to this part. It's not because they didn't give back, but because they didn't even recognize what you gave as something spectacular and special. It's emotional malnutrition. It teaches you on a deep level that caring is pointless. This analogy just captures the whole tragedy perfectly. Imagine a tiny, tender seedling full of life trying to sprout up through the asphalt of a parking lot. All that potential to become a magnificent tree is in there, but the environment itself is just built to suffocate it. That is what happens to our unselfishness in the wrong setting. And this whole problem, this erosion of love, it isn't just a one-on-one issue in our personal relationships. It's a societal problem. When a whole community fails to nurture this stuff, it becomes a numbers game that is absolutely rigged against the person who cares. Dr. Lukens uses this absolutely striking term for this: a lizard farm. I mean, what a picture that paints, right? It's what happens when a community withers on the vine. Instead of becoming a warm, supportive place, it turns into a cold-blooded, dog-eat-dog world where selfishness is the only winning strategy. Everyone is just looking out for number one. And just look at the math here. This really puts it into perspective. When you are the one unselfish person in a room with 11 selfish people, what are your odds, really? You're completely outnumbered. Without any allies, your natural instinct to give and to care just gets crushed under the sheer weight of the majority. So, is it hopeless? Are we all just doomed to live on the lizard farm? No, absolutely not. According to Dr. Lukens, the way out, the solution, starts with something you might not expect. It starts with a definition. We have to arm ourselves with a crystal clear, powerful definition of what we're actually aiming for. And this is it. He calls it Committed Benevolent Interest, or CBI for short. Now, this is not about romantic butterflies or what you get out of a relationship. CBI is a deep, fundamental devotion to serving the well-being of another person, to prioritizing their welfare over your own. This, he says, is the true north of authentic love. And this chart makes the distinction so clear. Look at the two columns. On one side, you have CBI, which is all about serving the other person. It's devotion, it's unconditional. But on the other side, you have these common forms of affection, which are usually focused on what we receive. They're transactional, they're conditional. Recognizing this difference is the absolute first step toward building something real. So you might be thinking, okay, but it's just the definition. How much does that really matter? Well, it turns out it matters immensely. Because you can't hit a target that you can't see. This isn't just about an idea. It's about creating a blueprint, a map for how to actively build love in our lives and in our world. And it breaks down into 3 simple, powerful steps.
First, you need clarification. You have to know what high-quality love actually is. That's CBI. Once you have that clear definition, it gives you an aspiration, a meaningful, noble goal to strive for. And when you have an aspiration that powerful, well, that provides the motivation to align your actions and move toward a more compassionate life. As Dr. Lukens puts it himself, the order of operations here is everything. You need that clarification before you can even have the aspiration. And you need both of those things to have real motivation. Without that clarity, he says, our efforts are just not directed well. We're just stumbling around in the dark, hoping to find love without even knowing what we're looking for.
And so that leaves us with this final question, one that's both deeply personal and societal. If this capacity for unselfish, committed, benevolent interest is our greatest human potential, that little seedling we're all born with, then what are you building to protect it? And what are we, as a society, building to help it grow?